Hey, what's going on, working class hustlers of America and all across the globe? It's your main, the caramel king of the castle, Horace, also known as La Machine. Oh my God, it's Brian Peoples is out there. Mr. Peoples. Debbie is out there. Love you. Good to see you guys. You know I don't really go live as much as I used to, but always thinking about you guys, always trying to add some kind of value. So what I want to do with my crooked glasses, maybe it's my face that's crooked, but I wanted to extend myself. Hey, what's going on, Jim? That's my producer. I wanted to extend myself in case someone had a few questions. We're going to be out here for a half an hour, and guys, you know, as of late, I keep it right to a half an hour, you know, because I don't really like to talk. For those of you who don't know me, I'm very shy, introverted, bashful. So this is hard for me, and yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Brian says hello to everybody. Brian's laughing. Hey, you guys, the few that are out here, you probably got me all to yourself. You guys are probably level 2s and level 3s. Please excuse my dog in the background freaking out because, the FedEx guys delivering some inventory for me. I do mostly online arbitrage, so FedEx is out there. But yeah, a lot of you probably won't have any questions, and that's fine. One of the biggest things I want to talk about is what has allowed me to increase my revenue from roughly $10,000 a month. For those of you who follow, you know that's what I usually do, and I work a full-time job as well. But I am up to my running 30-day total is what I'm talking about. I'm up to 18,000. That's a pretty big jump, and it's pretty fast that it happened. And it really wasn't what I'm doing. I'm doing the same things, but I'm doing them differently. And it's the thought process. The thoughts lead to actions. Those repeated actions lead to habits. And it is the habits in life that are getting you the results, whether they're the results you want or the results that you don't want. So we got to think in those terms. I'm going to read what Debbie is saying. Oh my, I'm almost 53 myself. Let's see. Oh, my pleasure. It can seem a little overwhelming, just like anything will, until you get used to it. Guys, once you get used to this, it becomes very, very easy. And I'm not one to really push software on you, but if you're serious about this business, I definitely recommend Inventory Lab. We've got videos on that. So we kind of know what we're going to be doing. Guys, make sure if there's anything you want, if you want a course, if you want ungating materials, if you want a link to the podcast, because now we're podcasting, if you want a link, if you prefer written content, the blog, go to workingclasshustler.com. If you just go to workingclasshustler.com, all of that stuff is out there. So, and the only other thing I'm going to say, for those of you who are not connected with me, I just put that on the screen. You can text Working Class Hustler, the words Working Class Hustler, to the number on your screen and get connected. I'm sure there may be something that doesn't get covered. Time flies. We're already almost 5 minutes into this. And before you know it, I'll be gone. But never fear. If you connect with me, you can shoot that quick comment, that quick question. Guys, people do it all the time. And if I have to hop on a call with you, I'll do it. I've always done it. And I've never been, my time is worth, and you got to pay for, Nope. I'm just a regular guy like you. I work a job. I'm not rich. I'm not going to try to get rich off of you. So it's just what I do. let's see if we got any questions out there. Eat it. I love you, girl. Debbie's got all of the things that I've suggested, maybe even tactical arbitrage. That's what I use. Anthony Jimenez, hello to you. Oh, Hassie Johnson was out of the game for a while because was sick. Sorry to hear that. Now I'm coming back and my numbers have dropped. I wanted to know what's your suggestion for me to start my business. Perfect. So let's get into that, guys. Oh, this coffee is so good. I love coffee. But yeah, pay attention, Hassie, because we're about to get into this. Number one, here's the process, guys. If you want to be successful at this business, you've got to source the products because your inventory is the lifeblood and the most important skill that you can develop. I talk about this all the time. You guys know it. Working class hustlers know that you make money when you buy the product, not when you list it, not when you sell it. All of that's just part of the process once you get the inventory. So you've got to be getting inventory. Now, here's the process. When you source the product, you're evaluating. So you source the product, you evaluate, you purchase, you process. Here's where it gets important. Listen. As you're going through this, okay, certain products are going to identify themselves. They're going to rise to the top like cream as replens. Replens are the products that you can continually sell over and over. That's how you build a business. If you don't do that, here's what you're going to do. You can still make money, but you're going to be constantly hustling. And yes, I do affectionately refer to all of you as working class hustlers. But if you really want to build a legitimate business, you actually do need to pivot a little bit out of the hustler mind frame and start thinking about running a business. And you have to start thinking like a manager. You need to identify those products. They will rise to the top. You'll sell them quick. You'll send some more in. You'll sell them quick. You'll send more in. And each time you keep building more and more. And then here's where you have to pay attention. You can never, ever be out of stock on a product that you have available. Now, there are going to be times where you can't get it anymore, but there are certain products that they're going to become staple products. You will always be able to get them, multiple sources, and then it's up to you to make sure you keep them in stock. And this sounds very easy. It sounds very basic until you try to implement it with everything else that's going on in your life, and life doesn't care. When that shopper was available, when he was going through, his shopping session, that was his time, and you either had the product or you didn't. You can't control what that customer does, but you can control what you do. And if you're available, then you've got a horse in the race. You got to have that horse in the race all the time. So once again, just to recap on that, you're sourcing the product. That means you're evaluating, and we got two 7-step processes right out there. We have videos about that. I talk about it mostly on all my weekly videos, so you guys probably have seen those. But once you evaluate, then you make the purchase. You get it sent to you or whatever. If you purchased it at the store, you got to process it to get it into the warehouse. Then let those replens identify themselves. You wash, rinse, and repeat, and you have to manage your business. So let's see now. Hassie was saying if I had any suggestions to jumpstart the business. Number one, here's what you got to understand, guys. If you're going to set up your business the way I do, the foundation of my business is grocery and gourmet, specifically snack food. That is the foundation. Why? Because I don't have to think, well, is this a seasonal product? What quarter am I in? Do people really need this right now? Is it still popular? Has the fad worn off? Listen, Snack food is right up there with alcohol. People are going to consume those things when times are good. They're going to consume them when times are bad. They're going to consume them when times are whatever. They're going to drink alcohol. They're going to eat junk. And that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I just identify the trends. And I will tell you, if you're not ungated in grocery and gourmet, get ungated. Go to workingclasshustler.com. We've got the resources for you if you want to do it. This is how I do it. Now, a lot of times the return on investment isn't so big on those, but you can replan. Guys, let me tell you something. And this goes back, I know I'm all over the place. Oh well, you can rewatch this. But when you're thinking like a manager, you have to manage your business. You've got to be thinking, okay, you make your money when you buy. So if you want to make more money, you've got to buy more. What is your budget? If you're thinking like a hustler, this is what you do. You go, oh, I'm going to source some product and I'm going to flip it. If you're thinking like a manager, you say, what is my budget? My budget is $1,000. I got to spend that whole $1,000 because that was my budget for purchasing. And I need to get that up to $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. I spend about $7,000 a month on inventory. Now think about this for a second, hustlers. If I'm doing $18,000 in revenue based on sourcing $6,000 to $7,000, and mind you, everything that I bought that month doesn't sell necessarily that month, but many of them do. Okay, so you have to understand. This is momentum. Amazon really isn't a flipping business. It's cash flow business. So you've got to have the momentum for that. And Hassie, I hope that kind of answered some things for you, because here's what happens if you do it my way. You set the foundation of the business through grocery and gourmet. Then you, like I said, a lot of times the ROI isn't that big on those, but it's consistent, it's reliable, it's steady. And then what happens is you start sourcing other products. Now, I may source Nike, particularly gym shoes. I'm from the Midwest. You guys might call them sneakers. Gym shoes. I do like Cuisinart. I do like the brand Crocs for shoes. These are some of the items that give bigger return on investments, but they don't move as fast. Okay. But you can really knock it out of the park with those. You can really get those grand slam home runs, but you can't build the business trying to get grand slams on everything. Let me see what Brian says. Okay. Brian's helping some people. Good deal. Heather Baraza from Wisconsin wants to say thanks. You are very welcome. I've been out here since 2017. There's probably no reason to think that I'm ever going to go away completely, although I have had to shift my focus more to my own business. Debbie Jano says, I'm in the process of buying my 10 food grocery item to get ungated. Yeah, you'll get ungated. And if you have any problems, let me know. It's really not that hard, but just remember, we've had many discussions, roundtable discussions with the working class panel, the working class hustler panel. We've coached on private Zoom calls, and I remember we had a guy, it literally took him 15 times to get ungated in a particular category. And you know what? He got ungated. Why? Because he just would not stop. I mean, he started looking at things like, what time of day is he submitting, so that he doesn't get the same, person reviewing or whatever. I mean, he tried everything he could, and he finally got ungated. So you've got to be persistent, guys. Let's see if anybody else has any other questions. We're already halfway through. So if you've got any comments, concerns, let me know. Like I was saying, I use tactical arbitrage, and you can find that link down in the description. of either this video or any other of my videos, and we put together the lightning courses to help you. That software has so much. Actually, if you're using it, you'll notice Tactical Arbitrage, they got bought out by some big company that has, they had a whole platform with multiple things for people like us. And I was a little, I wasn't too sure about it at first, because I don't always like change right away, but hasn't been a bad move. Never got that interview with Alex Moss, who was the original founder of Tactical Arbitrage. Had some great dialogue with him through email. He's an Australian guy, but yeah. Let me come back to my comments over here. Yep, 3 Colts. Brian, you always on top of stuff, man. I appreciate it. Hassie says, have the knowledge gained from me. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's just the thing, guys. When you really want to grow the business, you got to start thinking like a manager. You got to really build that foundation of things that you can constantly wash, rinse, and repeat. And I'm telling you, guys, immediately when I started saying, okay, let me stop fooling around here. Because what I was doing was sourcing products, sending it in, and then just forgetting about it and going about other things. Then I would look and go, oh, all those ran out. We better resource. How much did I lose in that? Once you get momentum, you can't stop. For those of you who have followed the late Zig Ziglar, he used to always talk about pumping the pump. Because once you prime the pump, then all you got to do is just keep a nice steady pump going. But if you stop, the primer goes down in the well and you got to start all over again. So, you know, you cannot afford to not have those replens always. You got to think like a manager. Guys, you got to stop. You got to understand. When I ask you to think, I'm asking you to pay. Pay what? Pay attention. That's your most valuable resource is your thinking, your mind. That's why people don't want to do it. People don't want to be a manager. They just want to flip. Look, I bought this today and I sold this today. Yay! That's not running a business, man. You gotta think. Okay, let me take some time and identify what products are selling. How many of them are selling so that I can start ordering and making sure that I keep enough on hand. That requires thought energy. And right away, when you do that, it's going to take your business to another level. It's going to change your life. Who we got here? Monster Bear Fishing. Does Inventory Lab replace Tactical Arbitrage? Does Inventory Lab make it easy to file taxes? No. So Inventory Lab does not replace Tactical Arbitrage. Tactical Arbitrage is a software that helps you source products. Inventory Lab is software that helps you run your Amazon business. Great question. I'm so glad you asked, because I always harp on the fact that when you use Seller Central, you know, Amazon did not create Seller Central to help you run your business. Amazon created Seller Central so that you could list products on their platform and they can make money. They're not going to help you run your business. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, here we go again. I talk about food products. Food products have, one of the big issues about food products is the expiration dates. Now, you send some stuff into the warehouse with Seller Central, and you ain't going to remember what the expiration date was on that unless you take extra steps, like run a spreadsheet or writing it down or somehow. What if you had software that at the time you were sending it in, you put in what the expiration date was? That way you can go back and you can find that. And then you can find what batch did that go in to the warehouse. Things, when you use Seller Central and now you want to remember, wait, how much did I pay for this product? You don't know. unless you have another system. Now, what I used to do was name the product and put the price that I paid in the name. Yeah, well, what if that changes? What if I sourced it for $2.99 at this place, and the next time I replanned, it was $1.99? You see what I'm saying? I was running spreadsheets, all kind of craziness. With Inventory Lab, all I got to do is say, hey, what batch did that go in? Go in there. How much did I pay? Boom. And then it's telling me whether or not I made money. It's forcing me to consider if I'm going to make money even right at the moment that I'm creating the shipment. These are things you're just not going to get with Seller Central. I can export from my shipping program. I use a program called Shipping Easy because I do merchant fulfill too. That's a whole nother ball of wax. But for those of you who are set up to do it, merchant fulfilled, that is a huge part of my business. I used to avoid it because I was like a lot of people, I want Amazon to do everything. That's cool, but you're going to miss out on opportunities. I make more money. I have double listings. In other words, I take products and I'll list it FBA and merchant fulfilled. I make more money on most of them with the merchant fulfilled, and I sell a good bit merchant fulfilled. So don't think all the time that FBA is always going to get the buy box or get the lion's share of the sales. That's just not the case necessarily. But I can export from my shipping software those prices and import them into Inventory Lab. And again, this is letting me know where I'm making money. Inventory Lab helps you track expenses and on and on and on. Katie says, howdy. Oh, it's so good to hear from you. Long time working class hustler. We're down to about the last 10 minutes. So if anybody had any other questions, as I take Debbie's, let me see. Once I'm done with labeling my products and get shipping box done, how long do I have to get that box down to the post office and have it sent? I'm not sure if anybody wants to help with that. Sometimes I'll just leave it out there until I can get to it. It's not like there's a stopwatch going and you got so much time. I think there might be a limit on that, but you've got plenty. If anybody wants to weigh in on that, but you should not feel pressure. If it takes a week, hey, I've taken even longer than that. But yeah, you don't want to wait. Once you've gone that far, you better be getting that out the door. Exactly. You should feel no pressure with that. But yeah, guys, I feel so strong about the grocery category, particularly snack foods. I'm working on a course because there's a lot that goes into snack foods. It's a whole beast, but it has done so much for my business. So I encourage anybody, if you're not selling grocery and gourmet, start, because it's a great foundation for your business. And I will argue till eternity. The one thing people have to do is eat. You know, now you got a lot of guys that want to get into real estate, and I don't have a problem with that. And their favorite thing is, oh, everybody's got to have a place to stay. Well, you know what? I've seen some homeless people. You know, I've seen people living in their cars. I lived in mine for 4 months. So, but I tell you what I was doing, even while I was curled up in the fetal position in the back of my car, I was eating. That's not a choice. That is not a choice. If you want to live, you got to eat. Okay. So I think I've got a strong argument. I know the real estate, fortunes have been made. Yeah, because nobody really wants to glamorize the fortunes that have been made in food. Okay, you ever heard of ConAgra? You ever heard of General Mills? So, let's see. What happens? Brian says, oh, okay, just helping out. Anthony Jimenez, books are better to merchant fulfill or FBA. I mostly go FBA because what I used to do, I really don't do a lot of books, period. But when I did my books, I have the equipment, so I would really shrink wrap, like literally shrink wrap, and keep it real nice. Then I learned Amazon doesn't care. Slap a label on it, brand new books, send them in, no protection, no nothing, and then they go. Once that happened, it's like, you know what? For me, FBA is better. But again, I don't do a lot of books. That's something you would have to test out if anybody else wants to weigh in on that. Oh, thanks. I see Brian answered that question about how long you have to get that stuff out in the mail once you got it all boxed up. Congratulations, Debbie, working on your first box there. Yup. All right, gang, we down to the last 4 minutes. If anybody's interested in the software Tactical Forecaster, you can go to tacticalforecaster.com and check that out. That's an extension that works with Tactical Arbitrage. Could you live without it? Yes. Will it make things a little bit easier for just a few bucks? Yes. So if you like gadgets, some people just like having tools. There's nothing wrong with that. Go to tacticalforecaster.com. Once again, guys, text the words working class hustler to the number on your screen and get connected with me. Real Pearl has a question. Hey, David said no protection will encourage shipping damage. Probably. But you'll notice about me, I don't get worried about a bunch of stuff. This is very, very stress-free for me. But that's just my personality. And we all have our personalities. Some people, like my producer, worrywart, dots every I, crosses every T. I don't, and I don't have any problems, and I'm working on getting up towards 20,000. So we're all right. Real Pearl says, I know this was discussed in one of the Zoom meetings previously. I still find it very difficult to navigate through many products from Tactical Arbitrage. I probably just need to start when we go live, just do some quick coaching on how to do it. Can you go through how to quickly do that without flipping through all the pages? Well, what we would have to do, we'd have to really look at what you're looking at and see where you're coming up with problems. Because it sounds like, for me, the filters, when you filter your results, that's where you really kind of boil it down. Guys, you're going to go through thousands of products just to find a few. That's how it works. You're going to sift through a lot of earth to find a few golden nuggets. That's how it is. Although I got to admit, I don't push getting ungated, but once you start to get auto ungated, or if you're on the fast track, when you start being able to sell more brands, it really is easy. I mean, in 5 minutes, I could probably have that's what we need to do. We need to just watch me with my account, because I have an account because I need an account that's limited because I provide ungated leads. But on my account, I'm ungated for enough. Not everything. Like, I'm not ungated for Lego. I'm not ungated for Matchbox and, a lot of Mattel type stuff. I don't need it. I run out of money before I run out of leads. But yeah. Let me see. Linda says, I'm ungated in the grocery, but have only bought candy. Love your coach today. Yeah, candy is great. Just make sure it's not meltable. Katie says, I canceled. I canceled 3 times my membership on TA. Never understood it. Can anyone help here? If, like I said, let's make it a date. Guys, let's make it a date for next week. Because we're already over 30 minutes. Let's make it a date. We'll make next week where I actually go through tactical arbitrage. We're going to get some searches. I'll run them. I'll go through. And I'll go through my account. Now, you'll notice with my account, it will not take long. But that's because I'm ungated in enough stuff. And again, guys, I'm not big on... I can't sell Under Armour. I didn't go get ungated for that. Don't need to. Like I said, I can't sell, a lot of things. I can't sell... What's that one toy brand? Melissa and Doug or whatever. I don't need it. There's enough out there. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. This is what I do. This is what I love. But yeah, Real Pearl. Let's get together next week. We'll go live. For those of you, we go live on YouTube and Facebook now. So if you prefer Facebook, that's fine. And again, guys, for those who want, if you prefer to listen, we've got the Working Class Hustler podcast now. We've got the blog. If you prefer written content, just make sure that you visit workingclasshustler.com. All right, I got to run. I'm going to look if there's one more comment. Let me see. So Real Pro says that would be great. Yes, I will do that. All right, guys. Love you all. And I'll be back next week. And again, you guys got me. This video is going to be published on YouTube. You can put a comment between me and my producer, Jim. Your questions get answered. He won't let me ignore you. And if you get connected with me, if you've got my number, it's no problem for you to text me. If there's anything, if we need to hop on a call, we'll do that. All right, guys. I will see you next week.